Hey guys, welcome back to the Velocity YouTube channel. My name is Tom and today we're here to walk around this absolutely awesome 1970 K5 Blazer. Now, normal disclaimer rules apply here. This vehicle is already sold. It was built specifically for a customer. And in fact, this customer not only has this 1970 K5, they also have a K10 coming quite quickly behind it that we'll do another video on here shortly. But anyway, we're going to walk around this one as if you were here in the showroom with me and show you some details about what goes into our Heritage K5 series, so you can kind of see what a customer did rather than one that we have in the showroom, something that's a little bit more customized, show off a little bit of the capabilities we have here. We'll start by going through the color like we normally do, and the primary color on this truck is called Bitchin Blue, and you will have seen this color probably a couple times before on our website. It was actually a color introduced to us by another client. It wasn't a color that we stocked. It was a specific color that that client had his aeroplane painted in actually, and so we shot Bitchin Blue ourselves. Initially it was on an F250 and then it kind of became a little bit more popular and we've done it on some other trucks, and now we did it on this K5 and it looks amazing. It's a really nice dark deep metallic blue. When the light hits it, it really shines. It's got a lovely fleck underneath the paint, but it's also a little bit muted in the sense that it isn't super bright blue. It's like a navy blue, a really deep dark blue, and it looks really nice. It looks very classy is how I describe Bitchin Blue. Even though the name's a little bit out there, the actual look of the color is very classy, especially in combination with this white. And the white that we did on this truck is not a super frost or ice white. It does have a little bit of bone, a little bit of cream in there, just to offset against the blue, but it looks absolutely fantastic, especially in this split trim configuration that we'll come on to in a second. But those are the colors, primary color being that Bitchin Blue. Come around the front of the truck then, you're going to see first generation K5 front end. This is the particular grille setup that we have with the flat nosed hood on these K5s. Of course, the Chevy ribbon ties in really nicely with this colorway. It looks really good. Lots of chrome, as you can tell on the front of this. Main thing to point out in this grille is going to be these lights. These are the Holley Retro Bright. They are an LED light. They look like the old halogen lamp, but actually they are a brand new LED, so you get the old school look with the modern functionality. You also have a chrome front bumper with the reflectors as well. And one particular detail that I love when we do these trucks with the split trim and the two-tone is the two-tone paint comes in behind the bumper here in this panel. So it just gives you that, even from the front end of the truck, it wraps around, and the two-tone theme, even though it's subtle, comes in from the front end of the truck as well. So it looks really nice. We'll go down the side of the truck and talk about a few more details. The first detail, obviously, or thing I should talk about, should I say, you're going to notice is this is the Heritage series. So it is our upgraded, kind of our highest level of our signature Heritage series vehicles that you can do. You can go to a Founders series, which is like the highest level of customization we do, but for our production line vehicles, this is the highest level of spec, and you get a lot of different things on this. The first and most important thing is that split middle trim. So when I say middle trim, there are a couple of different K5 trim options you can do. You can do like an over the wheel trim, which will still give you a two-tone paint color, but the lower color will kind of split off here, and then the main color will just be at the top. Or you can do this middle split trim, which gives you the primary color, a secondary color going back to the primary color. So you can see how the Bitchin Blue comes back in at the bottom of kind of the kick panel area. That is that split trim. You also get, when you do the split trim, this amazing wooden grain inlay. And so we have lots of different colors that you can do with this wood. And for a truck like this with the darker color scheme, especially with the brown interior, the darker brown wood looked right. It felt right, but you could do it in a lighter color as well if you wanted more of a beachy vibe. If you had like a more pastel primary color, that would work. So you get the middle split trim as part of that Heritage series. You also get lots of billet components. You get the side mirrors, you get the door handles, and then some other stuff on the interior that we'll come onto in a second, as well as the tailgate handle. We'll show you that in a minute too. But basically all of this stuff is super premium. So it's designed and machined in-house. We have a 5-axis Haas machine that we use to make all of this stuff here. And really the main purpose, obviously, one is to make it look good because these billet parts look amazing, but also it's functional, right? This door handle just feels a lot more sturdy than the OE style door handle. It feels more premium. The side mirror, it's slightly larger than the OE. It doesn't vibrate as much as the OE fitment. So there are some functional benefits to go into those billet components as well. You're also going to notice the wheels on this truck, the Scottsdales. They look absolutely amazing. Customer saw installed the very first black and white K10 that we built with these wheels and said, hey, Tom, I absolutely love the wheels. Can we do that on the K5? What do you think it would look like? I said, I think it will look awesome. I love these rims. Not everybody does. Some people prefer more of like a spoked rim, but I like these rims. I like the dish. I like how they look. And I just think they look great on this truck. So that's part of that Heritage Series upgrade as well, rather than having just the normal bullet hole style wheels. So that's it. You're going to notice down the back of the truck, another big thing on these K5s is going to be this roll cage. So you get a full 6-point roll cage in all of our K5s. It is a functional roll cage and they are made in-house. Common question we get asked is if we would sell the roll cages for the K5s just to the general public, and unfortunately we just don't have the manufacturing capacity right now to do that, and so we have to make every single one for each vehicle, but this basically ensures perfect fitment. It's been finished in a powder coated black that looks really nice. Come around the back of the truck then, you're going to notice that wooden grain inlay detail kind of continues, as well as all of this trim, tailgate trim going all the way around the side of the vehicle, Chevrolet in the tailgate, the Bitchin Blue up top with the white insert as well. And if you come a little bit closer, I just mentioned you've got this tailgate handle that has also been upgraded to billet as well. I really like how the guys drop in the rear view camera here as well. Just makes it very functional. It's a really nice thing, feels great to actuate in a second. Lower chrome bumper as well, which is nice. Pop this open so you can see the load area and get the first kind of look at the interior. If I take a step back so you can really take that in. And so we went with a brown interior, which we're going to get onto in a second in this one, with this kind of browny grey carpet. It looks absolutely amazing. With it being the Heritage Series, it does have just a little bit more of that kind of luxury feel, which is why we've done a leather here covered for the back of the tailgate panel. That looks really nice. You'll also notice, if you come a little bit closer, that where there was paint, now there is this blue Raptor lining, so you do have that extra protection as well. And in fact, this is on the entire underside of the truck as well, so it gives you that rust protection, chip protection, all of that normal stuff. But for where it's visible on this truck, we've tinted it that same blue. Obviously you can't make this Raptor lining a metallic blue, that would be impossible, but it does match in terms of its color, which is really nice. Before we look at the interior, there is one really cool detail on this particular truck, and you'll see it on the K10 as well when we do that video. This particular customer had a lucky number, and that lucky number, really important number to him, is 32. So instead of having K5 Blazer as a badge, we actually custom made a K32 Blazer. Not that it means anything important other than the client, and to the client this number is very important, but a really cool touch and something that we can do here with a little bit of customization that's really nice. All right, let's take a look at this interior, then open the door up and show you what we're working with. And of course, this thing is just insane outside and inside. The leather on this thing is immaculate. Let's walk through it like we normally do. We'll start with the door panel here. And yep, the first thing you notice is this absolutely amazing worn textured leather. It looks aged, it looks amazing, and it smells absolutely fantastic as well. As soon as you open the door, you can smell that new car premium leather smell. So that's kind of the primary material that we've used through the interior and of course on this door panel. But you are going to notice a second, which is this fabric kind of insert. Really, really nice. It's also on the top of the cubby box, but just gives that tonality to a lot of the details through the interior. And so does the carpet. So at the bottom of the door panel here, actually where you would kind of put your foot, you know, as you're getting in the door or getting out of the, sorry, as you're opening the door, getting in and out of the truck, you notice that this area at the bottom typically is a little bit of that higher wear area, so where you might accidentally kick with your shoes or things like that. And so that's why we carpet this bottom panel, as well as just to wrap everything together and make it continue from a design perspective. Speaking of other design options, you've got billet on the outside, you've also got billet on the inside. So we've got this billet door handle that basically doubles as an armrest. That's really nice, topped in the leather, as well as the door release. There is no window regulator on a K5's door panel because the electric windows are controlled by the center console controls, which we'll get onto in a second. Really, really nice door panel. Also notice this speaker grille here, completely custom made in-house, Focal etched in. Of course, it's a Focal speaker system as with all Velocity vehicles, so lots of details there. Jumping in the vehicle is really easy because I've got powered side steps. So all Velocity vehicles, when they're four-wheel drive lifted like this, they come with powered side steps. They're operated on a small catch in the door, so when you shut the door, they disappear, so we don't ruin the look of the truck. when you open the door, they pop out to make it really easy to get in and out of the vehicle. All right, seating position in this truck is really, really nice. Great visibility in these K5s. They're really, really fun to drive. And of course, you're greeted first by the steering wheel. This is a Spark Industries billet steering wheel made for us by the guys at Spark Industries, so custom made for our Heritage and Street Series vehicles. The really cool thing that I've got to announce, and you're going to see this more in an upcoming video, but for those who watch the YouTube channel, soon we will actually be able to offer these for sale on our upcoming parts store. So we're launching a new parts store for all you home builders and enthusiasts out there. We're expanding everything they're offering, and so one of the things that we will begin to offer is the Velocity steering wheel by Spark Industries. So really excited about that. But for now, they are just available on our vehicles like this one. It's wrapped in this leather, custom matched, of course, to the rest of the interior. It looks amazing. It feels amazing. Just a really premium piece. Behind that, you've got a tilt adjustable steering column by the guys at I Did It. Again, that's another piece that we'll be selling online soon for people who want to be able to buy what we use. But it's been painted, this one, in that Bitchin Blue to match the rest of the exterior color, and you get that as part of the Heritage series. If you build one with us, we match the steering column color just to wrap everything nicely into the interior. Behind that, again, speaking of like design continuation and materials, you've got the wooden paneling around the instrument cluster, so that matches the exterior wooden trim. It just wraps everything together, looks really, really nice. The instrument cluster itself looks old, but of course, in Velocity fashion, it is brand new. So it's a Dakota digital system. It's basically a new electronic instrument cluster. There are actually two screens, one on the left, one on the right, and you can have more information there. But basically, it's an all new system. Really, really nice. It looks old, but it is new, operates fantastically. Final thing on this side of the truck that I want to talk about quickly is your light switch. Really, really nice. And again, when you go to the Heritage series on these K5s, you get all of those billet components, not missing the switch gear. So this actual, I want to say it's a button, but it's not really. It's like a lever or a switch. This has all been finished in billet too, so it just feels really premium, nice to actuate. All right, let's talk about these seats. So these are our low back seat, and this is kind of the standard that we put in our K5s. You can, as a customer, opt to go to a full Recaro seat, but ultimately, this is what a lot of our customers like because it reminds them of the original K5. It's a really old school looking seat. Now, we did get some comments on one of the K5 videos we did recently about the lack of headrests. At the end of the day, if you want something that looks this way and is like designed like this, when you're an owner of one of our vehicles or a customer, that's kind of one of the trade-offs. It's like saying that you don't have, you know, a crumple zone and built-in airbags on a motorbike, right? At the end of the day, if safety is a top priority for you, yes, absolutely, you should go with a Recaro or a Corbeau or whatever the larger seat is, depending on the model that we offer, with a headrest, right? Yes, of course, that's safer. But if you're custom building your own truck, you may just want it to look a certain way, regardless of like safety. And so that's always a trade-off with a classic vehicle like this. I, for one, love these low back seats. They are really, really comfortable. And yes, you don't have a headrest, but they do actually support the upper area of your back really, really nicely. And the cool thing is we can actually retrofit headrests in this seat configuration as well. So if the customer did drive the vehicle for a little bit and decided they did want headrests, we can actually make them and add them should he or she request. So that's a little bit about the low back seats. The material itself, of course, is this worn leather, distressed leather that looks absolutely amazing. And you're going to notice that stitch pattern in there is called plaid. So it's a plaid stitch pattern. You've got all of this lovely bolstering and cushioning. I love how these feel. They're so premium. The stitch is really, really well done as well on these seats. Just every detail is just perfectly straight. Absolutely amazing. Another thing that you get when you go to the Heritage series is this big custom center console. So this is something exclusive to Velocity. Yes, some people unfortunately have started knocking us off. What can you do when people, when you're the leader in the industry, people will sometimes copy you. But listen, it's flattery to us. This is a true Velocity custom center console for a K5. We designed them for this vehicle fitment specifically, and they're just really, really nice. This whole thing is really, really nice. Let me talk you through it. Right at the back, actually, behind, before I get into the cubby box, you do have rear AC. So two blowers for rear AC at the back. You got a little bit of airflow for the rear occupants. It is an open top vehicle, but you do have those. The actual center area of the center console is going to be this cubby box. It's finished again in this distressed leather. It looks amazing. It feels amazing. You've got this different material here. That's the same material on the top of the door panel. That fabric just is a bit of a softer thing. And then opening it up, you get loads and loads of room to store stuff. So this is a big Alcantara lined center console. It's on a magnet, so it shuts really, really nicely. And there's loads of space. You can fit an iPad in here, phones. You've got a USB-C and a USB 3.0 charger. You've got your sub control there as well. That's really, really nice. Moving forward, for the rest of the center console, you're going to see it's all been wrapped in that leather, and you do have some more convenience features. So you've got 2 drinks holders. I mentioned earlier that your electric windows are controlled here, so that's what those 2 switches do. And of course, you've got wireless charging at the front. I love that we etch in the Velocity Flying V into this space, and we even match the backing material with the brown. You know, it'd be very easy to just leave this black and then do like a debossed, or whatever the right word is, logo there. But no, we wanted to create the pop. We wanted everything to match, so that backing material is actually brown with the like engraving there in black. It just looks really, really nice, and of course is very functional. Vehicle does have high and low range, so you still get all of that functionality as well. These 2 levers control that, and the actual shift boot, what I want to call gear gator, is also finished in that distressed leather too, so really, really nice. Moving up, we come onto the infotainment AC section. So that's this center panel here. We'll start with the infotainment. It's a double DIN Alpine touchscreen system. It does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all of the normal convenience features that you would expect, the technology, so you can hook your phone straight up there. I love the position of these double DIN infotainment units in the Heritage series. Just very easy to see while you're driving, easy if you want your navigation up there or your Spotify or whatever. Just really accessible, very, very easy to use. That's hooked up to a Focal speaker system. So there's tons of Focal speakers in this K5, and Focal make all of the sound systems that we use. We use Focal in everything, all of our Velocity vehicles. So you've got 2 speakers in the door panels themselves. You've got speakers in the kick panels. You've got a sub, and you've got 2 speakers in the back, 1 in each of the rear quarter panels as well. So basically there is tons of like sound output power in these K5s, and the actual sound system is amazing. The guys at Focal do a really, really good job. Above that, you've got the Vintage Air AC system controller. So don't get confused. Vintage Air doesn't mean that it's like the original vintage style AC. It is actually a brand new, very powerful, modern AC system with all the normal features that you would expect, right? So you've got fan control for your speed, you've got your temperature, and you've got your direction, and you've got a couple of different vents that the AC comes out of. Now, this is an open top vehicle, like I just mentioned. So AC in terms of like cabin climate control, yeah, you know, if you don't have a top on a vehicle, you're always going to lose some of that cooling. But the really nice thing about these is they are adjustable, and if you adjust them the right way so they're blowing at you, the Vintage Air AC system is super powerful. It does make a difference on a hot day just to keep the cool air hitting you. It really makes it much more bearable, especially here in Florida where it gets very, very hot. I think that's about it for the interior. Of course, we've got the dash pad as well. We mentioned the 6-point cage with the Safari top, that's above me. You also get sun visors in leather. But yeah, it's just overall a really, really nice interior finish. And again, I said the color Bitchin Blue is almost classy. This interior is incredibly, in my opinion, classy. It's just really, really nice. The color of it, the finish, all the different materials we've used, it looks absolutely amazing. All right, so time to talk about the driveline. We've talked about the exterior and the interior, everything that makes this truck look so nice. But let's talk about what makes it drive so nice. First thing to note, of course, it's a Velocity, so there's no original engine in sight. This is a brand new GM LT1. It's a 6.2 litre V8 producing around 460 horsepower and tons of bottom end torque. What that means in normal speak is this truck will go 0 to 60 very quickly, sub 5 seconds, and it is more than capable of going over 100 miles an hour on the highway. So brand new, modern, performance, powerful engine, but it's not just about the power, it's also about the reliability and the serviceability, just the general maintenance. You get this vehicle serviced at any GM or Chevrolet dealership because it is their modern crate engine. So it's very simple to service, very simple to maintain, parts are readily available, all of that good stuff. Behind the LT1, we've got the 10L80, which is a 10-speed automatic transmission. Again, lightning quick, modern transmission, shifts through the gears really nicely. When you compress the pedal, put your foot all the way down, it will drop gears really quickly as well, give you that instant power that you want. But because it's a 10-speed, when you are on the highway cruising 70, 80 miles an hour like you can easily do in this truck, you're not going to be bouncing off the rev limiter. You're not going to be all the way up in your top gear right at the top of the revs. You're actually going to be able to like cruise nicely in 9th, 10th gear, low revs, and it just feels really easy to drive. So that's the transmission in this truck. For brakes, we've got Willwood disc brakes all round. It's a hydro boosted system, so plenty of stopping power as well as plenty of going power. For chassis on this vehicle, of course, it is a Velocity K5. K5, and so it does have a full 4-link coilover roadster shop chassis. Really, really, really nice bit of kit. We use roadster shop on almost all of our vehicles. The only time we don't is occasionally on Broncos. We have to reuse the original chassis. But for any brand new chassis on our vehicles, roadster shop are our partners, and they just build, I mean, you can, if you haven't heard of them before, you can Google who roadster shop are. They just build the best aftermarket chassis available. There's no question about it. For vehicles like this, those guys are the best. That's why we partner with them. What all of these features basically do is combine together to get as modern driving feel as possible in a truck that is this old. Now you got to think, this vehicle was originally built in 1970. It's now 2025, right? Quick maths. It's 55-year-old architecture, except not really anymore because of what we do to make these things drive really nicely. It has the look, right, of a brand new 55-year-old car, but actually it drives like a modern truck, and that's what you're paying for. That's what the customer paid for. A couple of other quick things. I love the billet hood hinges in these trucks. These are really, really nice, very, very premium. Of course, they're assisted as well, so it takes the weight out of the hood when you're lifting it. And you're going to notice when you get a little bit closer in this engine bay, all of the little details, the fixtures, the fittings, everything made to look make this engine bay look as OE as possible, right? So we don't have any crazy engine covers on here. We just try and make it look like it was belonged to be there, and also makes it very easy to access, serviceable as well. I think that about covers it for the Driveline. So that about covers it for this K5 Blazer. Like I said at the start of the video, unfortunately this truck is already sold. We do have the customer's K10 coming soon behind that as well, which I am quite excited to show you because it's a really, really cool truck. But the good news is we do have other K5s available in stock, ready to drive away today. You'll see the vehicles behind in the showroom here. There is quite a few other vehicles available, and if you're on our website or you're on YouTube, you can click the link below, go to our showroom page. It's the buy button at the top of the website, and you can see all the vehicles that we have available to drive away today, including a couple of K5s. We also do have some build slots left available this year for K5, so if you wanted to take inspiration from this build, see if you wanted to build your own, you could actually pick everything. If you decided to do that yourself, you could pick the color, the interior, the trim, the stitch pattern, all of that good stuff. Loads more information on our website. Of course, any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, send us a DM or leave a comment. And if you're on the website, which is where most people see these videos, if you want to know more, just hit that inquire now button or the contact us button, or just pick up the phone, give us a call. The guys would be happy to talk to you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.